If you don't understand this, you don't understand money. And what I'm referring to is the idea that wealth is not exclusively reserved for a select few of people. Money, wealth, all the riches in the world is equally available and equally accessible to all people at the same time. You see, money doesn't pick and choose. Money can't think for itself, right? Most of the money that we encounter and we see is just a piece of paper or coins or digits on a computer screen, right? It doesn't have its own opinion, doesn't think for itself, right? So money is nothing more than just energy. And money flows where it is invited and stays where it is welcome, right? And in order to bring money into your life, you need to be creating and providing value. And the reason for this is because money is the physical representation of value. Now, for you to get a holistic picture, right, I need to dive into a little bit into history, right? So before money was created, because you need to remember, money was created by humans, right? It's easy for us to forget that, and easy for us to think that money has always existed for all of history, but it has not, right? We as humans created money, and the reason for us creating money is because back then we used to barter, which means back then we used to trade goods with one another. There would be a vendor that would sell salt, and another vendor that sold ice, and another vendor that sold red meat, and another vendor that had textiles or clothing. And these vendors, of course, many other different types of vendors, they would all trade with one another. And that is how an economy existed until everyone realized that the current system in place was very inefficient. Because let's just say you were the ice vendor and you wanted to purchase red meat, but the red meat vendor didn't want any more ice and instead they wanted salt. So you have to trade your ice for salt to then use the salt to then get red meat. And as you can see, it became a very inefficient and complicated process. So everyone came together and decided to create a currency so that the currency can serve as a middleman, so that there's no need to have to constantly jump through hoops and go to multiple different vendors and line everything up perfectly. It's just much easier for us to, create a currency that can be used to purchase things, right? And the reason why money exists is because money only exists because of everyone's collective belief in it, right? Because everyone believes that money represents value and can be utilized to make purchases. That is why money is able to hold value, because we all believe it can. The moment we stop believing in money is the moment that it becomes worthless, because once again, it's just a piece of paper or coins or digits on a screen, right? Or written numbers on a bank statement. That's what money is, right? Is because we believe that it holds value, that it can be used for purchases, is what makes it valuable, is what gives it power and allows it to hold weight. But it merely represents value, right? Because when you're providing value to someone in the form of a product or service or whatever it is, right? Normally you would receive money in return as compensation, right? And that creates an exchange of value. And so if you want to one day improve your finance or improve your finances moving forward, right? Then your focus must become to serve other people, to provide value to other people, to find ways to better serve the masses and ultimately serve the world, right? Because as you're serving other people, you are providing them with value. And as a return, right, people will also, right, you open up the exchange of value, right? If you're providing value to them, then they'll also provide value back to you in return in the form of compensation, in the form of currency, because that is how the society is designed. So you need to have a focus of serving other people. You see, what people fail to realize is that so many people think that because they came from humble beginnings, that they were not set up to succeed, or that they were not set up to win, or that money is just not meant for them, or that if you're really rich, then it's because you were born lucky or born into the right family or born into the right situation. But I'm here to tell you that money, because it represents value, then money is going to flow to the people who provide the most value to other human beings. That money will flow to people who decide to be of service to the world. Look at the billionaires list online. You will see that virtually all these billionaires own companies that they provide tremendous amount of values, typically to millions, if not billions of people all around the world. And so it's no surprise why they've amassed a fortune, because if money is the physical representation of value, then if someone has a lot of money, then it's because they provided a lot of value, typically to a lot of people, right? You need to understand so many things. Like, first and foremost, right? The reason why anyone ever makes a purchase is because whatever item, product, or service that someone is interested in, they will buy it if they believe what they get from that product or service is worth more than the money required to get it, right? If it's food, for example, right? If you believe the value you are going to receive from the food is going to be worth more than the money required to get it, you're willing to pay that amount for that exchange. This is with all purchases, right? And the thing about people is that we as people, we are creatures that have unlimited wants, needs, and desires, which means we are always going to value things. For example, if in this moment you watching this video, if you're hungry while you're watching the video, then chances are you value food because you're hungry and you would like something to eat. And you know, if you were to eat food, you'll feel a lot better. Your hunger problem goes away and you'll ensure your survival, right? So when you're hungry, food becomes valuable in that moment. You are looking for food, you're craving food. But when you're on a full stomach, right? Chances are you don't value food as much in that given moment because you don't need it in that moment, right? So it becomes less valuable to you, right? So value essentially fluctuates, and it's a matter of you serving other people and helping, you providing value to other people, and have it be for those people who are in need of that value, and they'll be willing to compensate you for it, right? This is how this world has been designed. This world has been designed to serve other people. That's why it's an economy, right? An economy is money that's flowing around businesses and people and all these things. So if you're not providing value to other people, then you're effectively not participating in the greater economy, which means you're not allowing money to be flowing into your hands. Money is equally available to all people because money represents value. And what you need to understand about you, and especially all other human beings, is that we are creators. We were given the power to create. We were given an amazing mind and a brain where we can think thoughts, right? We have free will, that we can think whatever thought we want, and we have the power to imagine. We have an infinite imagination that we can create anything in our minds. So if we can create anything, then that means we have the power, well, of course, to create anything. And with our creation, we can provide value. So if we can create anything, then when you think about it, that means you can create you can effectively create infinitely. And if you can create infinitely, then that means you can create infinite value. And as a result, you can create infinite wealth. Once again, if you look at the billionaires list, a lot of these billionaires created these companies or founded the companies that they own. And the companies that they built were businesses, but these businesses were nothing more than ideas that they had, right? An idea that popped into their mind, and they decided to pursue it and grow the business until the business became an international company, right? But it started as an idea. Just like money started off as an idea, because there was a human being who decided to create money, to create a form of currency so that it can serve as the middleman of exchanges, right? I am explaining this video to you guys so that you can make sense of this all, because so many people, when they see their finances and they see that their finances is not in a desirable state, they begin to question their self-worth. They begin to think that they are worth less. They begin to think that they are not worthy, that they are just not good enough, that they're not capable, and they begin to have all these faulty beliefs, these incorrect ideas, thinking that riches were just never meant for them, that right? All these nonsense ideas. But it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with you understanding the game, you understanding finances and how it all works. You see, we as human beings, right? This is another gem that I'm going to explain to you guys. We as human beings, we were put here on this earth to experience outrageous joy. That is the only reason why we were put here. That is our purpose. And so You do not have to accomplish anything. You do not have to get any of these accolades. If you lived a life where you could just be born and raised in a village, or you can be born and raised in the beach, and if you lived your entire life in the village or in the beach and you were happy the entire time, then you live a successful life. And the reason for it is because when we feel happy, we feel good. When we feel happy, we feel our best. So we've known this innately that we're chasing happiness. This is what every human being is after moment to moment, because so many folks struggle with finding happiness in each moment throughout life. And so as a result, they're willing to spend money in order to acquire that happiness. Think about all the things that we spend our money on, right? We spend our money on video games because video games and entertainment entertains us. So it cures us of our boredom problem, which helps us feel better, right? We're willing to spend money to live in a nicer home because it'll give us space, the space that we want. It'll allow us to do the things that we want to do, right? We're willing to go on vacation because vacation is fun and relaxing, and right, you begin to realize that the things that we spend our money on are things that are going to get us closer to being happy. And so the way you provide value to someone is by, in simple terms, it's anything that anyone would find beneficial or helpful. That's you solving their problem. That's you improving the quality of their life. That's you delivering them a positive transformation, right? If you want to simplify it even more, value is effectively you helping someone else get closer to being happy. It's you helping someone get closer to smiling, right? If someone is hungry and you were able to provide them with really good food and the food was absolutely delicious, they're going to be smiling and they're going to be happy, right? And so they will find that to be valuable. It's like you just need to look at it in simple terms. You need to understand us as human beings because we're the only species that use money. And so if you understand humans, if you understand what we want, what we're after, and you try to make sense of the world as a whole, everything else is going to fall into place. And then your finance and money will be falling into place too. Because as you provide value to other people, then what you're effectively doing, you're improving the lives of other people. You're making them happier. You're making them feel good. You're uplifting them. You're solving their problems. All these things are basically tied into you delivering them happiness in some way, shape, or form. And as you do that, you are effectively raising their internal value. And as a result, your external wealth will rise accordingly without fail. Your finances will improve without fail if you continue providing value to other people. So you need your focus to be serving other people. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video. Money goes where it is invited and stays where it is welcome, right? Money goes where value flows. So where if you provide value to other people, if you find your unique skill, your unique talent, your gift, and figure out how to use that gift to solve a painful problem or fulfill a need in society, you will be compensated and your finances will be taken care of, right? Because you understand that everyone here on this planet is simply chasing happiness. And if you're able to serve as the person to help someone feel better or get closer to happiness, you will be compensated, you will be rewarded financially, right? People invest in other people. People like doing business with other people that make them feel good and treat them well and appreciate them. Why? Because they feel good, right? I don't think anyone wants to do business with people they dislike or want to do business with people that make them feel bad. You see it all the time. It's just most folks are oblivious to it and they might not see the connection, but it's crystal clear. The people who live their lives being of service to other folks and being of service to the world are the people who ultimately live financially abundant lives, because these are the people who understand and accepted that they are creators. So they're going to create, and with their creations could provide value to people all around the world, which can create wealth. Look around you, whether you're in a room, an office, in your living room, outside, everything that you see, with the exception of nature, was created in the mind of man. It once began as a thought. So when you realize that all of these items, products, creations, inventions were able to bring wealth to other people, it's because they were able to use their creative gifts, which has led to them experiencing wealth because their inventions, their products, their items, right, was able to provide value to us. So just as though we've been the beneficiary of the creations of the value that was created and provided by other people, we can also create and provide value to other human beings and be compensated for it. So this is why I said, if you don't understand this, you don't understand money. Because so many folks, they'll look at a bank account or they'll look at a number, and if the finance or the numbers isn't to their liking, they'll think that there's something wrong with them. No, that's just a reflection of value. Because if you're providing tremendous value to other people, then you will receive business. People want to do business with you, right? People will go out of their way, lined up to work with you. And that is the essence of it all. Money merely is the physical representation of value. And so if you want to improve your finances, you need to create and provide more value to more people. You need to find more ways to better serve other people, to solve other people's problems, to improve the quality of their lives, essentially help other people get closer to smiling. And you will see that your finance in due time will begin improving until you eventually arrive at a point where everything is taken care of. Because if you help enough people get what they want, you will forever have everything that you could ever want. Because the only way to earn money is through serving other people. So you need to have that be your focus, right? And hopefully the gems that I shared with you will allow you to see money in a different light. Because the challenge that I faced growing up is that people around me, because I came from humble beginnings, right? And that was the case for most people around me. Money was always a sensitive topic. So no one ever talked about money. And so how are we supposed to learn about it unless we go through and experience it ourselves or learn from the experiences of other people, right? But many of these lessons were not taught. And so it's always been the gray area, the gray subject for so many people's lives until I decided to go down the path and learn this information. And now I can't unsee it, right? And I want you to look at it from the same perspective as well. You want to put yourself, you invite money into your life by becoming someone that's valuable. Because when you're valuable, you know your worth. You know you are worthy. You know you can be, do, or have anything, that you are good enough and capable. So you'll trust in yourself and your ability to serve other people. And as a result, you will be compensated for that. So like I mentioned, if you don't understand this, if you don't understand those ideas that I share with you, then you don't understand money. Money does not pick and choose where it wants to go. Money doesn't think for itself, right? What we decide to spend our money on reflects what we value, right? Everyone has their own preference of the things that they like to buy, right? Some people who are into fitness are willing to spend their money into gym membership, into gym clothing, into eating healthy because they value health and fitness. Whereas some people who do not value that don't put their money towards that. Other people are willing to put their money towards video games and entertainment because that's what they value. Whereas other people don't, so they won't spend their money there, right? So you'll notice that what people spend their money on reflects what they value as well. So you want to create something of value and serve other people. And the people who value that will want to do business with you. And that is how you ultimately change and improve your finances. So remember, wealth is not exclusively reserved for just a select few people. It's not just that you have to be born lucky or be a super genius or be any of that. It's equally available to all people. It's just a matter of the ones who decide to put themselves out there and provide value to other people and ultimately serve the world. Those are the people that put themselves in a position to earn because they're providing value to everyone. So it opens up the value exchange to take place where they're providing value to someone or to other people, and other people will provide value back to them in the form of money, right? So you provide value to other people, you open up the opportunity for an exchange to happen. The reason why some people might struggle financially is because they've probably not serving anyone other than their employer, or they're not serving anyone at all. So as a result, if they're not providing value to anyone, why would anyone give value to them, right? But if you want to change that, you need to be of service to other people and provide value to other people. That's the name of the game, providing value. You understand that, then you'll understand the game of money, right? Focus less on the money itself and follow the flow and the exchange of value, and then the game of money will begin to make sense, right? And once that all makes sense, you will never be able to unsee it. You will never be unclear or uncertain about money and how this game all works. So I'm hoping that you can walk away from this video with clarity, so that you know what you need to be doing moving forward. You need to be helping other people, solving other problems, and doing what you can to help people get closer to smiling and feeling happy. Because as you do that, the more people you assist, the more people you help, right? The greater value and the greater contribution to your world, the greater contribution you make to the world as a whole, the more your finance will improve until it gets to the point where everything will be taken care of. So I rest up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe as we're on the road to a million subscriber, guys. So once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.